Hi, this is Samantha Clark, and this is my presentation on academic language. Yay. Okay, so these are the components of academic language. We have vocabulary. There are 3 tiers of vocabulary. The first one is language that everybody uses. The second one begins to be more of a complex academic tier. So we're going to be teaching, those are tier 2 words very frequently for access to texts. And also for words that we want students to know so that they become more proficient writers, readers, speakers, and listeners. And then tier 3 words are words that are used specifically in certain subjects. So we won't necessarily use literary devices in any other subject except for English, but those will often need to be taught as students go through an English class. Syntax and discourse. So syntax is the sentence structure. So often we might need to be forming justification statements in English or in any subject where we're proving something. Discourse is the matter in which we're speaking. So in groups, we're speaking out loud as a class, or the manner of writing. So we are writing an essay, we're writing a paragraph. There are specific genres of essays. Then grammar. So the proper syntax, sentence order, specific ways that the tenses are formed, parts of speech. Then register. So this is kind of like code switching. So we need to teach students that there is an academic register when we're at school. So these are the language functions. I made this fun little cloud here. So these are just some of the functions. These are tier 2 words in which we use in lesson plans. So sometimes our objective is that students are going to be comparing pieces, critiquing a piece, explaining a concept, discussing a concept, arguing something, claiming something. So these are tier 2 words that we want our students to use, not just know. What are students doing with language? So we're not necessarily going to have them define these words, because we'll define definition that doesn't quite make sense, but these are words we want students to know how to use. So how to foster academic language. So we need to model it in our classroom. We need to show students how to use it. We need to use it without explaining how we're doing it. Just constantly be that model, that figure that is showing them how to use academic language in the classroom. Teach it. So this is explicitly teaching how do we compare two texts. First we look at this idea, we compare it with a similar idea. Sometimes we need to explicitly teach it. Expect it. So once we've modeled it, once we've taught it, we need to expect our students to be able to use it and then assess it. So while our students are using it, we need to make sure that they're using it correctly and effectively in speaking and in writing after recognizing it in listening and in reading. So examples in English. So these are functions. So times that we're going to be using the academic language functions in class. Sometimes these are tasks that are written in an essay, such as arguing an opinion, but sometimes it can be speaking, such as a debate. So this is a way that we can use academic language in the classroom. They can debate, they can argue a point while speaking, and they can transition that into an essay. I just saw this in my observations where they had a Socratic seminar and then they're writing an essay on the same topic. Justifying a statement with evidence, analyzing a text to determine its purpose, comparing two texts' opinions, summarizing a narrative, or discussing a topic to preface a lesson. So these are all objectives using language functions for our students in ways that they will learn these through the action of doing them. But other than that, we need to support our students in these kinds of tasks by assuring that this academic language is taught throughout and recognizing the demands that students might have in order to be able to achieve those objectives. All right, thank you so much.